Alright, back for another beer review, and today I'll be reviewing yet another beer from the Two Tides Brewing Company, and they're out of Savannah, Georgia, and this is their How Much Cheese is Too Much Cheese, the mint chocolate cheesecake variant. So they are calling this one a mint chocolate cheesecake Imperial Stout, and underneath that it says contains lactose. It comes in at 9.9% alcohol by volume, no IBUs listed in time of review. This can is just under 4.5 months old, and I want to give a huge thanks, shout out once again to a very good friend of mine and viewer of the channel, Wes, for this beer, so big thanks to him in the description box. I'll post a link to the beer mail unboxing video I did that contains all the goodies that Wes hooked me up with, and he hooked me up with 5 different beers from Two Tides. I have reviewed the only hop forward beer he sent me, which was a double IPA, and then 2 of the 3 fruited sours he sent my way, and this is the only like pastry stout he sent to me, or only stout or only darker beer, and I'm really excited about it because I love mint chocolate, pretty much anything, and this sounds fantastic. Now, they don't mention specifically what they're brewing this one with, but on Instagram they mentioned they are using Andes mints, which you look at the label here. My camera's not the best, but it does show Andes mints on there. They're using also cheesecake and vanilla, and you do see pieces of cheesecake on here. And I believe, they don't specifically say graham cracker, but there's graham crackers on here, so I'm assuming in addition to those other adjuncts they're using graham crackers. We'll see. Anyway, I've never had a mint chocolate cheesecake ever before, but it sounds delicious because I love mint chocolate stuff, and this is right in my wheelhouse. So I'm hoping that A, this isn't too sweet, and B, that it kind of hits and delivers on what they're going for. And when you review beers like this, yeah, what's happening to me? I don't know what's happening to me, but I'll tell you something right now. It's exploding a little bit. It was in my fridge. We will give this a pour. Anyway, the reason why I stopped talking there, which is hard for me to do, is because it literally tasted like I had to put an Andes mint in my mouth, and it was like at the end of it where, it starts to melt. That's pretty much what I got out of this. So put this over here like that. Okay, so that looks absolutely gorgeous. It's pitch black. It poured out really deep like motor oil. Pitch black, hold it up to the light. Has about a finger and a third of this super creamy, like dark brown, kind of darker mocha colored head. Looks just absolutely super creamy. There's some alcohol legs, almost 10%. But yeah, if you're talking about a pastry stout of some sort, pastry stout of some sort, that plays the role. Let's get a nose, because I cheated a little bit and I'm kind of blown away. Anyway, nose. So first things first, and I think this is obvious. If you don't like mint or like mint chocolate, you're probably not going to like the nose on this. You probably won't like the taste. You probably won't like this beer. If you like mint chocolate stuff, like ice cream, for example, this smells like somebody has a bowl of mint chocolate ice cream in front of me. Or again, I'm just bringing an Andes mint to my nose. Like, it's crazy. Oh my God. It's like fudgy chocolate meets mint. I'm really not getting vanilla or cheesecake or even graham cracker. It's just Andes mints to me. It's a little bit of like a roasted malt, maybe a coffee kind of roast going on from the base beer, which is nice. But every time I go back, it just smells like Andes. Or like the Frango mints that I had recently when I reviewed Hot Butcher's Minted, which was a mint chocolate Imperial Stout. It's just the nose smells so like rich with that chocolate, but also the mint, that it's kind of hard to get anything past that. I don't know. This smells awesome. Again, if you like mint, you like mint chocolate, this, I think the nose-wise, you'd be all about it. I am. So huge thanks to Wes for this one. Let's get into it. Cheers, everybody. Thanks again, Wes. It's absolutely fucking fantastic. Oh, the aftertaste. I'm getting like the actual like cheesecake portion without like, I'm not getting a lot of graham cracker here. So it's like, you're not eating the graham cracker with the cheesecake, but I'm getting like that creamy kind of like whipped cream, kind of like cream cheese-esque kind of filling. Mine, this is lower side of medium full. 9.9% is appropriate. I think it poured thicker than it actually is on the palate, but it's not thin. If this was 12 or 13%, I'd say it's thin, but for 9.9%, it's pretty nice. The mouthfeel, a little bit more carbonation than I thought. But I think it works because one thing I've realized with a lot of these pastry beers, but also like the fruit smoothie sours, whether it's a slushy or a smoothie sour, whatever you want to call them, a lot of times when they're undercarb, I feel like that heavy kind of thickness from the body combined with like the lack carbonation makes these feel a little bit too rich or like too much on the palate. So I like when they're like mild to, like in between mild to moderately carbonated, more approaching moderate. And I think that's what this is. And I think it's working real nice. The taste though, this is not overly complex. It doesn't need to be. Omnipresent. And these mints, 100%. That's what I'm getting at the front of the palate. That's what's left on the back. It's all over the place. You never really step away from that flavor, but there's underlying roasted malt, coffee. There's definitely more of like a bittering dark chocolate too, especially on the finish. The vanilla and the cheesecake flavors and all that hits like midway through the palate, maybe 2/3 of the way through the palate, but it kind of darts in and out. And then, well, I shouldn't say it darts in real quick, and then it kind of dissipates on the palate, where on the finish you're left with, again, more of that like cream cheese-esque kind of cheesecake feel. What I like about this one, it's not sickly sweet. A lot of pastry stouts that have, a bunch of different adjuncts, mint chocolate cheesecake, Imperial Stout, they're too sweet. You'll be hit with, tons of like fudgy chocolate and like over the top, vanilla and this and that. And you get through like 3, 4, 5 ounces. And I'm just sitting here, I'm like, man, there's no way I should definitely share that with a couple people. Not this one. This is not even remotely cloying to any degree for me, which is great because they can be. 9.9%. No. Like, I'm not even getting a warming in the chest, believe it or not. Holy fuck is this? This is so good. Wes was like, I can't wait to see your thoughts on that because it's a fun beer. More importantly, and I say this, listen, beer, for the most part, should be fun. Plain and simple. Especially when you talk craft beer. But outside of being fun, you want it to be tasty. Yeah, if the beer's fun and I drink 4 ounces and I'm sick of it, it's kind of a waste. And these beers are expensive. So it always should be fun, especially when you're reviewing beer and trying new beers. It always should be fun. But the main thing to me, the main takeaway, because this is an alcoholic beverage, you should enjoy it. It should be drinkable. It should be tasty. You should want to drink the rest of this can. And I do. And I think that's where this one wins me over. It is a novelty beer that works extremely well, but it's not a novelty beer because it's super drinkable and it's not over the top. This is a great marriage of an Imperial Stout and mint chocolate cheesecake, and they've done a great job. What are my I'm not gonna give this a 5 out of 5 because it's not a 5 out of 5. I like the flavors, but I don't think it's world class to me. It might be world class for a pastry stout, but I think for me, I think I'd want a little bit more graham cracker. Clearly, they show graham cracker on the label. It's part of the cheesecake. I want more graham cracker, and I think I would like a little slightly bigger body. It's a personal preference. I did say the body was perfect for 9.9, and I think it is, but I think a little bit of a richer, thicker body would make this a little bit more decadent. So I don't know. I just know that graham crackers not being here definitely disappoint me, but not to the point where I can't say this is an amazing, fucking just delicious beer. And I'm glad Wes sent this one my way. I don't drink a lot of mint chocolate beers that you see them release occasionally, just because in my experience, there are so many bad ones. Minted from Hop Butcher, especially this latest one from 2022 was pretty tasty. The one in 2021, I wasn't as huge of a fan of. This, though, is fucking awesome. So, Two Tides, how much cheese is too much cheese, the mint chocolate cheesecake variant. Absolutely no issues giving this a low 4.7 out of 5. I'm going to go 4.75. I'm going to go 4.7 out of 5. 4.7 out of 5. This is one of the best pastry stouts I've had in a hot minute. It is pretty much lives up to the name of what they're going for with this one. And I can't recommend Two Tides enough based on the 4 beers. I have one more fruited sour from them, but like they just do a pretty good job of the hype styles. I've had a New England double IPA. I've had 2 fruited coffee sours and this, and now I have one more fruited coffee sour. So like if you like the pastry stouts, the smoothie sours, and the New England IPAs and double IPAs, and you're in Savannah, like, I don't understand how this brewery wouldn't be one of your favorites. But everybody that I've talked to in the comment section who have been around this brewery pretty much say they do a great job. And yeah, I'm realizing that very quickly. So price point availability, I think Wes said these were $22 a 4-pack, so $5.50 a can all day, every day for something that's almost 10% with these flavors, no problem. And availability, it's Two Tides, I have no idea. So if you're outside of Georgia and you see their stuff, let me know. But we don't see it here in Buffalo, New York, and that's disappointing because this is really good stuff. So once again, huge thanks to Wes for this beer. If any of you have had this beer or anything within this How Much Cheese is Too Much Cheese series, it's basically a pastry stout series where they mix up the adjuncts, they do different versions. I'd love to try more within this series and just more from Two Tides in general, but this, one of the best pastry stouts I probably had in the last year. So appreciate Wes sending this one my way and all the beers he sent my way. Thanks everybody stopping by for another beer review here on the Beer Patrol. To the next one. Cheers.